Welcome back. It is that time of morning. We say hello to Mike Eppel standing by. Good to see you, my friend.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Just a couple days off,
too.
And then right back at it with lots of news.
You know what? We've had this discussion in the past, Melanie, about how Tuesdays are my favorite day.
Your favorite, yeah, my least favorite day. But you know what? My Tuesday feels like a Monday, and it's different. So it's all good.
And they're all kind of blurring together anyway, aren't they?
They really do. They really do. I can tell you this, though. I was looking at some of your notes here for business. E-commerce up significantly.
Yes.
I am contributing to all of that. Everything.
Have you tried anything related to curbside pickup?
Yes, I have. I have. And it's so far so good. How about you?
I have not. I mean, our household has been somewhat sequestered. Mm-hmm. We did have my wife was hit by the COVID-19. She's since recovered, but we were sort of in lockdown just from a going out standpoint for a time there. So any trips out have been specific to visit the grocery store when we could do that, but I haven't done the curbside pickup. But, you know, that's pretty much the new normal for the retail sector. And under that circumstance, the numbers, as you might expect, according to some data points are up 200% on a comparable basis. Now, everything, you know, when we talk about these numbers comparing what was then to what is now, you're going to see a spike in certain categories. So, you know, retailers have had to adjust, and e-commerce sales are up 50%. I'm actually surprised it's not more than that. And again, these are U.S. data points, but you can extrapolate that to Canada to some extent. But you know, for how long? And what is, again, how can the retail sector, are they making enough of a profit? You know, that they still have to make money to keep the doors open. How long can they exist with simply the e-commerce sales platform?
Mm-hmm. We're looking at visuals right now from the Eaton Center here, and that kind of ties into what's happening with this whole mess financially. Obviously, the malls are closed. A lot of people, if anything, are really turning to the online, the individual stores. But what about the malls and the rent?
Well, the largest shopping mall owners in this country are seeing, you know, a lot of their tenants skip payments. Some tabulations indicating that, you know, maybe as few as 25% of the tenants actually paid the April rent. We've got rent coming due May the 1st in just a couple of days here, you know, and at the same time, these mall operators, they have bills to pay. So again, it's the ripple effect from a financial standpoint, because they have to cover their debts, and, you know, on and on it goes. So this is where the pressure is for an economic reopening, which we're seeing a little bit more in the United States. Whether it works, we don't know. And that's going to come to bear from a financial standpoint from the shopping mall owners specifically. And again, it's also dependent on the tenants, right? Because some of the big box stores, for example, they are still open. You know, it seems to be more of the urban, the Eaton Center, for example, right? Things like that, or Sherway, or Scarborough Town Center, that kind of thing.
And you got to think about that prime real estate and just how much that land, how much rent would be here, right?
Sitting idle.
Pretty significant. Okay, talking crude.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is remarkable again, and that's becoming the new normal, so to speak, for the oil market. Early this morning, oil was down 20%. It's bounced a little bit. It's now down just by 5%, but it's trading at, you know, $10, $11, $12 a barrel. Historically low, closed actually yesterday at the second lowest price on record. One of the large traders in the energy market says they don't want anything to do with the June futures contract. It's all traded on a forward basis. They're looking at July. And even then, who knows, right? Again, it's about demand, supply, storage, all of these things factoring into it when we're talking about the energy trade. And the world stock markets are going, oh, that's nice. I've got the Dow futures up 300 points this morning, on pace for a 5-day winning streak. There's a bit of a disconnect there.
Yeah. Doesn't seem to make sense, does it? Yeah. I want to get in this last story here. Foodora, which I know a lot of people used for the delivery of alcohol same day. I think it was the only service that could guarantee that same day for alcohol. So a lot of people were using it. They were happy about it, but it's saying goodbye.
Yeah, they're owned by a German company, and they say there is no prospect to make any profit in the Canadian market, so they're shutting her down in the next couple of weeks. because of competition from the likes of Uber and DoorDash and all of these others. Backstory, though, Foodora, a few weeks back, maybe it's a couple of months now, I've lost track of time, there was a unionization push, and they had received the go-ahead, and you wonder if that plays into it for their delivery service people. They're not saying that, of course, but you have to wonder. At the same time, Uber, had some issues this past weekend with their delivery apps, and a lot of smaller restaurant chains that rely on Uber say they took a big hit because the food was just sitting there and it couldn't get to the customers. And then you come back to the whole idea and questions about how much of a service charge that Uber and DoorDash and these other ones charge to the restaurants. A lot of, again, it's a new economy that is taking front, is expanding rapidly, let's say, in the pandemic shutdown. So
Indeed.
A lot of things adjusting very quickly.
And they all truly rely on one another to get things going, right?
That's just it.
Oy. Okay, Mike, thank you so much for your time. As always, have a good Tuesday. Your favorite.
Thank you.